All right, we always have to wait for Instagram. Oh, my life is spent waiting for Instagram. There we go. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. Obviously, you see that I am not Jason. Jason is on assignment this evening, so we got Miss Jaymie. That's a little inside joke on the show. We got Miss Jaymie waiting in the green room. We're gonna go ahead and go over some Niners signings, getting a little bit of the BA drama, and also talk some Niner signings, get into BA drama, talk a little bit about the Netflix special. I don't know too much about it, but we're going to learn together. And of course, talk some cornerbacks. But before we get started today, we got to pay some bills. Today's episode is sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. For the Faithful, by the Faithful, off-season sale is happening now. Save 20% on all For the Faithful, by the Faithful season 1 through 3 gear now through June 30th. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop to save. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at NinerFaithfulRadio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful, by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join. Join us Friday for our NFR weekly review at 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. End your week with some drinks and laughs. All right, we're going to go ahead and hit the intro, and then we'll get crack-a-lacking, booty smacking.
They are at the 44-yard line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side, and Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown, 49ers! First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record.
You are now tuned in to NFR Weekly News Wrap, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
Man, I'm telling you, I almost got it down. I almost got everything shared and everything before. It's gonna happen one day, y'all. One day I will be able to get everything shared before the intro is over. What's cracking, Jaymie? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Any day you wake up a 5-time champion fucking sucks, bro. I'm sick of this shit. Anyway, so I totally promised myself I wouldn't cuss during the show, and it literally lasted
not even 5 seconds.
4 minutes. 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Awesome. Way to go, T. So real quick, okay. We'll go ahead and pull up Jamie's slides. Go ahead, Jaymie.
Yeah. So first things first, just want to let everybody know, I made these kind of quick, so any typos or anything, ignore it. If I have to do this again, I'll do a lot better job. This is real quick. And there we go. So we're gonna go over some free agency signings. I know that Tej and Jason have been holding on the fort and talking a lot about free agency over the last couple weeks and stuff. And there's been a lot of moves going around. I know I haven't been on anything. I've been kind of busy with school and work right now. But just a quick recap. The only one that you mentioned that you guys haven't talked about is Brandon Parker. He is, I believe, an O lineman. If I was reading the
And
thing
Ezekiel
right,
Turner.
and
I,
Ezekiel
I just
Turner.
I just saw that one.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. That was the one that Jason sent us, right? Okay. So we'll talk about them. Out of all the other ones, you don't have to go into real big detail about any of them. I think the Josh Dobbs signing is cool. I think his story is interesting, but nothing crazy. The one thing I will say though is that I didn't get to talk about is about Eric Armstead leaving. Because I haven't been on since he has officially left.
Yeah, I forgot
Which
about
is
that.
yeah. So like that one's the big one for me. I know it's not a player coming here. It was one of our players leaving. It's just very weird that we're not going to have, because for the longest time we've either had Buckner or Armstead or both of them on the D line for like a minute now. So it's going to be very weird.
I was thinking about this the other day. So obviously I've been a Niner fan for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can sit here and I remember when we drafted so and so and everything. But I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, I remember when we drafted Jimmy Ward, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, all his ups and downs and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when he left, it didn't seem weird. Like, okay, Eric Armstead is the next longest tenured Niner. That just didn't seem that weird to say because Eric Armstead had been here so long.
Yeah.
It's creeping up close to a decade, kind
Yeah.
of situation. So, and then when he left, I stopped and I said to myself, okay, if you go by date, technically Juice is the longest tenured Niner. He signed in free agency in March. Kittlecorn would be the next because he was drafted in April of that
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And with me turning 38 on Tuesday, everything's just kind of hitting me. Like I'm starting to feel real old, and it was like I feel so weird saying that George Kittle is the longest tenured Niner. Like, doesn't that just feel weird to say? Say that, Jamie. George Kittle is the longest tenured Niner.
George Kittle is the longest tenured Niner, and that is very weird. It's not. It's just like it's weird because I feel like now we're officially like the guys that Kyle and John have drafted now from like that very first year are now like our longest tenured players, and we have we don't really have anybody from the Harbaugh era or anybody before that. Really, nobody.
Armstead was the last one.
Armstead was the last one. Really?
Or sorry, Jimmy Ward was the last one from the Harbaugh era. Then Eric Armstead was from the Tom Sula.
Okay.
I don't believe anybody was left after the Chip Kelly era after Defoe left.
I don't think so.
Have to look and research and all that, but I don't believe there was anybody left.
Yeah.
Thank you, Smee, for the love. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, so it was just real weird to say. Ezekiel Turner, 1 year contract, originally entered the NFL, was signing with the Cardinals as an undrafted free agent April 30th, 2018. Throughout his 6-year career with the Cardinals, he appeared in 80 games with 3 starts, 28 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, 29 tackles on special teams. He also appeared in 1 postseason contest with Arizona. In 2013, Turner appeared in 16 games with 1 start for the Cardinals and registered 10 tackles and 4 tackles on special teams. Now, we're not going to sit here and break down Ezekiel Turner, as an individual player. I will look at it in this is that tying into Eric Armstead leaving, we're definitely a team in transition. And when I say in transition, slowly but surely, we're going to start to probably lose either from a retirement or just leaving. We're going to lose some players that we didn't that have been here a while.
Yep.
And we're definitely in a team in transition. So, special teams signing. Look, obviously, I did the post game together, or I did some of it with you after the Super Bowl. We haven't really talked about things since then, but we could break down each individual things. But one thing that I think everybody can agree, while I don't think it was the reason, special teams was a contributing factor on why we lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Feel that as Niner fans, we should be fired up because what does that tell? What is this signing? Whatever some of the signings that we've done have told us. Let's step back. Let's remove our Niner hats. What have these signings told us? They're not satisfied with the special teams.
Mm-hmm.
We're not satisfied with the D line.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, before the draft, it seems like we're staying pretty status quo on offense. Now, obviously, we'll on Tuesday we've been breaking down offense. We're gonna draft some offense. I mean that's. But anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, in the Super Bowl was the offense an issue? Yes. In the season was the offense an issue? No.
No.
Overall, sure you could
Yeah.
pick to the Cleveland game or individual games, but when you step back and you look at the 23 season as a whole, the offense was not the issue of this football team.
No, it was not. What did we all complain about all season is Wilkes's defense and how the D line wasn't getting pressure or like not getting a lot of pressure and everything. It wasn't the same as how we've seen it with D'Amico or with Sala or anything like that. So like it's just the offense this year, honestly, this season has been the one carrying a lot this season, a lot more. They've had their ups and downs, but they've been a lot more, I feel like they've been a lot more efficient this past season than they have in a while. Because normally we're complaining about how the offense can't keep up with the defense and how high caliber the defense is playing. And
Look,
so
this is a conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's just it's going to be interesting, and I feel like this upcoming draft it's a big one because you're right on the money. We're in a transition period where we still have a very lot of talented players, but we will be losing a lot of players. Maybe not a lot, but we'll be losing some players coming soon because of retirement, contracts being up, not being able to keep everybody, and everything like that. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens moving forward.
Definitely. And what I was going to say is yeah, the reason I point to the offense being an issue in the Super Bowl is the same reason I point to the defense being an issue in Super Bowl 54.
Mm-hmm.
When you step back and you look at what the Niners were this season, the defense honestly probably had one of their best games. Really. Literally. I mean, I feel because what was the issue on defense? Was it was the issue on defense? Hey, this ain't getting it done. Or was the issue on defense of we got Oren Burks out there against Travis Kelce? And I mean, like, let's just be real. That was really what was the issue, Jaymie? The issue was injuries. The issue wasn't scheme. I mean, sure, you could break down individual plays, fourth quarter, things of that nature. But the issue, when you step back and look at the season as a whole, I thought the defense, if you would have told me that's how the defense played, I would have thought we would have got it done. I would have said the offense has got to get it done. You got to score 26 points. You just got to, bro.
Yeah.
So what fires me up about that is that they see is how many times with Bulky do we sit here and bitch about not addressing the needs of the football team that we could all see. Now you could argue about individual. Hey, is Leonard Floyd past his prime? I forget the one we got from Montos. The one we got from Carolina. He's a scrub player. You could critique each individual signing, What I like to do is I like to take a step back and say,
Mhm.
is the coaching staff / GM, addressing the needs of this football team? Yes. And at the end of the day, that's all you could ask them to do. You say,
Mhm.
are they addressing the needs of this football team? Yes. Okay. We were just in the Super Bowl. Who put that roster together? Kyle and John. Okay, so
Mhm.
they're addressing the needs of the football team. They've been
Mhm.
proven to be able to evaluate talent at a
Mhm.
level that just got us in 2 of the last 5 Super Bowls.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
generally, I think fine, we didn't get Danielle Hunter, whatever you could say. Without
Well,
seeing anything on paper, I got to give us a C or a B so far in free agency.
yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Like D line has been a concern all season for whatever reason. And they've even despite losing Armstead, we've retooled there. They signed some players there to help. Um and and stuff like that. They signed a few offensive linemen, which we've all been saying that too, for Brock. And they signed some defensive backs as well, like and stuff. So they're and I think this is just them trying to retool, getting options, and like maybe it's not the big flashy free agency signing that everybody wanted them to get, like the guy from Minnesota who was in
Danielle
Minnesota.
Hunter.
Yeah, like maybe nobody like a big name like him or anything, but it's just I think they're trying, but I also know that they want to find their own guys in the draft. That's always been a thing that they've mentioned a few times is they like to find their stars in the draft. And
We'll,
so depending
we'll,
on how go ahead.
we'll get on to the next slide after these last few comments. But
Yeah.
what I also want to say here is that the biggest part of this transition of this team is, let's be real, Jimmy's, besides 2018 and for the mostly 2019, Jimmy's contract wasn't necessarily a hindrance.
No, it wasn't.
We ate the majority of Jimmy's contract in 2018 and in 2019 with the idea of 2021, etc.,
Yep.
22.
Yep.
We would have a less cap hit as this team got more expensive. What
Yep.
this team is transitioning to be is, let's be real, we've had the benefit of the last 2 seasons of having our starting quarterback, or at least last season and up until December from December of last year, of our quarterback literally being on the cheapest possible contract that you can get drafted on.
Yep.
Literally, there's no cheaper contract. That is
Yep.
going to change. Look, do I
Mhm.
think Brock is going to get the biggest deal ever in in NFL history? No, I don't think so.
No.
But he's
He's going to
definitely
get
going to get
paid.
expensive. He's going to
Yep.
get paid.
Yep.
And so bargain bin hunting, Jason and I have been saying on the show a lot, raising the floor of this football team, not worrying so much about the ceiling, raising the floor of this football team. And best of all, not putting yourself in a position in the draft where you have to take a player that's a reach, or, take a player in the second round, just for example, because he's a corner, and
Yeah.
you need a corner, or he's a D tackle and you need a D tackle. To be able to step back and essentially accept a few needs, which really aren't needs per se,
Mhm.
taking a step back and being able to honestly pick, pick the best players available, I think is what also is going to pay huge dividends to this football team down the road.
Oh yeah. I think I agree 100%. I think the fact that Kyle and John have turned this team around to be a contender season in and out, like for the last few years, I think just speaks to how they can build a roster. And now we had some front office people move around, so we'll see how that's gonna if that's gonna affect things or not. But I do think that they can do it. They've proven that they can find players that they like, and get them on this team and have them have an impact. So we'll just have to we'll see with free agency, with the draft, and see how it goes. I feel.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Yep. Let's see. Hold on. There we go.
All right. Wait. Before we get into that, real
Yes.
quick, I forgot to do this before we actually start talking about this segment is brought to you by shop49ers.com, the official online store of the 49ers. Use our affiliate link in the description to get the latest official Niner gear, save 10%, as well as help out this show. Okay. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because let's just be oh, what's up, Jason?
Hey.
Yeah, of course, brother. You already know. I told everybody. I didn't tell anybody. I said if Jason wants to tell y'all what's cracking, Jason can tell y'all what's cracking. But BA's not getting traded.
No.
The only way that BA is getting traded is if a team blows us out of the water and it's 2 first rounders or 3 first rounder, something that's just like, dude, this would be a malpractice not to get this trade.
Yeah.
You know, how often? Okay. I remember this conversation being a Lakers fan. It was Shaq and Kobe. I remember being a literally, what's up, David? I see you, baby.
Hey.
1 second, y'all. Anyway, I remember having this conversation with my boys actually watching a Giants game between Matt Cain and Tim Lincecum. You know, when it was who do you pay, who do you keep, you know, those type of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Debo is a difference maker. Debo is, I hate to say replace Debo because realistically, we're probably never going to replace Debo. But Brandon Ayuk is a better receiver.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
right? Can we say that?
Yeah.
Debo's a better player. Debo can do things that other people just can't do. But when you're talking about down out, down in, down out, the consistency of the ability of being a wide receiver, BA is a better wide receiver.
Yeah.
You add,
go ahead. Keep going.
You add that to the clear chemistry, and this ain't something that we've watched in one game. I remember the Arizona game, NFC Championship game. We could go back to how many of these games Brock clearly looks to BA.
Yep. Well, BA, the thing with that is BA is definitely more of a standard wide receiver. Like, he's more of a full-on wide receiver. Debo is like
offensive
a mixture of different things in a powder keg, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Debo's more versatile. Debo can do a lot more things. Debo can mix it up and keep the defense unsteady and like make the defense miss in a way. And Ayuk could do the same thing, but Ayuk's skill set is very much a standard, full-fledged, like, I'm a receiver. I like, that's his thing. He's much more of just a normal, standard, really, really, really talented, elite wide receiver. And so, not that Debo is bad. Debo is phenomenal. And I think you're 100% right. Is the only way BA gets traded is if the Niners get some sort of crazy trade offer for him. That's like, which is not going to happen. They will figure out a way to keep both of them because we need both of them. And like you said, with the chemistry, Brock has chemistry with BA and stuff. Like, BA is almost like his number one, like, look, most of the time. I feel like he wants to get the ball to him a lot. And so
I felt like I was in a blessed/cursed generation of Niner fans where I saw literally the 2 greatest wide receivers to ever play the game of football. Right. And Jerry Rice and T.O.
Yeah.
I really probably the greatest generation of receivers when you talk about the tail end of Chris Carter, Jerry Rice, those 80s receivers. Then you had T.O., Randy Moss, um,
Yeah.
why am I
Megatron.
forgetting the one? Megatron, the one from the Cry Girls, Des,
Oh,
Des Bryant,
shoot.
Des Bryant.
Bryant. Yeah.
I really my early years of football life and early to late teens were really the golden era of wide receivers.
Yeah.
It is malpractice. I've been starving for a Niner receiver like BA. It is
Yeah.
when you finally think that you've got the franchise quarterback, and this ain't hope. This ain't like we've seen it. We've seen it repeatedly, and we've seen it consistently.
Yep.
Like I think we can step and say that, like, look, is Brock going to be what he was last year every year? That I think that's yet to be determined. But should the Niners re-sign him to a contract? Yes, because I don't see the ability of us going to get better. Better's not going to reach the free agency market. Better's probably not going to get traded, and we're probably not going to be bad. And if we're bad enough that we can draft Brock's replacement, then Brock's probably not our franchise quarterback anyway.
Yep.
So it is malpractice when you think you've found a young quarterback to take away a secure the receiver with the type of connection he has that he clearly has with BA. That's malpractice. That is bad operating of a football team.
People like you said, it's fans. 49er fans have been wanting a receiver like BA for so long. Because we've always got we love Debo, but Debo is not a pure wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk is a pure wide receiver. We've been wanting a just pure wide receiver for a long time. And so we finally have him. He had a phenomenal rookie year, a phenomenal season last year, and an even better one this year. So
he's ascending. He's gotten better every year.
Exactly. He is. And so and it'd be stupid when he finally possibly found your quarterback to get rid of one of his best targets to throw to, who he trusts.
And also, let's be real. If Burford doesn't have a brain fart and have an ME on 3rd and 4 in the Super Bowl, BA catches the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
BA was open. BA was open. Brock was going to throw him the ball. I have every confidence to believe that it was going to be completed. It wasn't like Brock missed him and was looking the opposite way or something.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, would they have gone for, they said they were going to go for 2, so we would have either won it or lost it. But the way, that would have been on the defense. You would have looked at the offense and said, they got the job done there. Yeah. Talk to me when you start talking multiple ones, or a 1 and a 2, and then maybe we can have a conversation. But literally, why would a team give up that and have to pay BA when they could literally draft a receiver?
And especially with this group of receivers, I feel like it's pretty good. It's pretty deep. They can find somebody in the draft and that's cheaper that they can find,
And let's be careful. Let's not forget, Jamie. Let's not forget, you and I were doing this. We were all doing the show during this time. Javon Kinlaw was going to be the replacement for Defoe, right? Yeah. We could just simply trade Defoe and draft Javon Kinlaw, and everything's all right, right? Yeah. How did that work? Now, I always hate that because I've always said Javon Kinlaw was never going to live up to the hype, just because he will always looked at the player that replaced DeForest Buckner. I think it was more either DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, K'Wan Williams, Juice, and Jimmy Ward. So it was either keep Defoe or have Jimmy Ward, Juice, and Eric Armstead. And that's really what it came down to. All right, next. All right, wait. Before we get on here, I just want to take this one moment. I saw this on Facebook. This is our talking shit about the Cry Girls moment of the show. Brock Purdy
Okay.
wasn't born the last time the Cry Girls made the NFC Championship game. So, okay, so to let that sink in, that means Brock was born, grew up, learned how to play football, went to Perry High School, went to Iowa State, got drafted as Mr. Irrelevant, sat behind Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance, reached 2 NFC title games and a Super Bowl, and got married all before the Cry Girls made it back to the NFC Championship game.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Oh God. Man, I actually love the Cry Girls because they're just the gift that keeps on giving, bro. They're just the gift that keeps on giving. Do we have
It's
a
pretty
BC
funny.
sighting in the building yet? I actually wanted them to see my birthday present.
Do we have a who?
Brian Colt. I don't see him in the comments yet.
No, not yet.
I got a present I wanted BC to see me open up. If he's not here at the end of the show, I'll do it. But Thank you. I appreciate it. I saw it on Facebook. All right. Corners, our next segment, right?
Yep.
Oh, let's go to the Netflix.
Netflix one?
Yeah, let's go to the Netflix one. All right, cool. So I don't know too much about this. I did not watch it last year, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the Netflix release, and then if you have some thoughts on it, Jaymie, you can go ahead and give your thoughts. Today, Netflix announced that the newest sports series that follows pass catchers during the 2023-24 season: Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's been said that there's no more difficult position in the NFL than quarterback, but throwing the pass is only half the story. Receiver follows the 5 of the NFL's best pass catchers throughout the 23 season on and off the field. Receiver is set to premiere in the summer as 24 as a continuation of the Netflix partnership with the NFL that both first began with quarterback, which hit the Netflix global top 10 for 3 weeks. Awesome. I mean, I'll probably just watch the parts about Deebo and everything and George Kittle. Maybe I might even wait till it's done. Kind of just wait till it's all done and watch I don't know if it's going to be 8 episodes of 45 minutes. So, did you watch Quarterback?
I actually have not. I haven't watched it. I know that there's been a lot. I know there's some Kirk Cousins stuff that came out of that people find funny or whatever. I've watched a little bit of Netflix reality TV stuff, not a ton. I don't think it's like reality TV, but like, I think I'm assuming each player is gonna get there's 5 of them.
There's 8 of them. That's what I was curious. So is it? That's what I was gonna ask. I'm wondering if it's, hey, Deebo gets an episode, George Kittle gets an episode. Maybe they combine the Deebo and George Kittle episode just because they're teammates. So it's like,
like that's my question is like,
because if it's like that, I'm literally only watching the George Kittle and Deebo one. Now, if I gotta watch all of them to kind of get whatever clips and they show all of them and okay, I might watch all the episodes just because to get all the information. I feel that we have to watch this just because it would be very unprofessional of us not to.
No, I'll check it out for sure. What else are we
going to talk about this fucking summer?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm thinking like All Access Boxing meets kind of like the Osbournes type of situation. I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I'm excited. All right.
I think it's cool. I definitely think it's a cool idea. The fact that this didn't get out until after the season is over is kind of crazy. To be honest, because they must have been filming. I'm assuming they've been filming like the whole season. So
either that they've been filming the whole season, or maybe they're just, I don't know.
The fact that it's ready to come out this summer, I'm assuming means that they've probably been filming, if not the whole season, then most of the season. And like nobody, I don't think there's been any rumors of another show coming out like the Quarterback. Yeah. So I hope it's like I think it'd be more fair if each player got their own episode. And stuff, it'd definitely be easier. But if not, then we'll binge through the whole thing, catch whatever clips they have. and stuff.
We'll
And
get
then
together and figure out what.
I've not heard bad things about the quarterback. I just haven't checked it out. So if it's anything like that, I'm sure it'll be fine. At least it'll be fun. We'll get to see some behind the scenes stuff.
Maybe I'll watch an episode and see what's cracking. All right,
Yeah.
before we go ahead and get into corners and wrap this show up, we got one more read to do, and we'll be right back. This segment is brought to you by SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio at SeatGiant.com to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out this show. All right, so we can go ahead and get rid of the because that was the last one, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we can go ahead and get rid of that.
That's good.
So we're gonna go ahead and I'm looking mostly at nickel corners. I went ahead and I found some. I didn't watch a million highlights. I didn't, anything like that, a million breakdowns. But there's one particular Tyke Smith, 5'10", 205, 82 overall grade, PFF grade, 82.9 coverage grade from PFF, 73.3 run defense grade, two PBUs. I believe he plays for Georgia.
Okay.
They're saying that he could be a hybrid nickel linebacker hybrid role, and I'm very curious with obviously Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner's background as DBs, and what kind and the new concepts that that Brandon Staley could be bringing. I mean, a 72 run grade, a 73.3 run grade. That's nothing to sneeze at, especially with our struggles all last year against the run.
Yeah.
How do you shore that up? By getting you a nickel corner / linebacker that can hit, can thump, and is a sure tackle. Another one that I have that's a little bit intriguing is Jaron Jones. He's 6 foot, 6'1", 191, a 90.1 overall, 87 coverage grade, a 74. Why did I say 42? 74.2 run defense grade, 3 PBUs, and a 25.3% or 25.3 passer rating when targeted. 6 foot. That's a little tall for a nickelback, but the reason I'm intrigued by him is, there are obviously some big receivers coming out of the draft this year, and not gonna lie, not that DK really has ever given us that many issues. Let's be real, Charvarius locks him up pretty good. I like a 6 foot corner, especially a nickel corner that can match up with some bigger receivers, especially if we could end up getting both of these in the third with our 2 third-round picks that we have. I don't think they'll both last that long.
Yeah.
But if we can get that type of both of them and have a little, because basically the thing I think that makes the Niners defense a lot better, and we'll get into safeties a little later, is if you tell me Huff can come back, Jair Brown's gonna take the leap step forward that we think he will, because I think he definitely showed some flashes. I think Jair is gonna stick around. Now, will he be a top 10 all-pro safety? We'll see. But I think that we've seen last year Jair Brown can play in the NFL.
Yeah.
You tell me Huff comes back, you got Demo and Charvarius Ward, and then you add, Jaron Jones or Tyke Smith and the nickel. All of a sudden, I remember distinctly talking to you and Jason during the Whackers playoff game and saying, this is not a championship secondary. I think that with that, even if nickel corner is our weakest link, I think that's a championship secondary, Jaymie.
I mean, I think that's been our thing too. It's like we want to shore up our defensive backs and we want to at least get some depth there because we've always had injury issues. So like getting some good quality players would be huge. And I think it is something that the team needs to address. But I agree. I think nickel corner, getting those slot guys, because we do get attacked in the middle of the field on those like quick slants,
And then
and
one more.
especially if um Dre Greenlaw is out for a minute and can't help on like quick slants and stuff in like the center of the field, and Fred Warner's having to pick up the slack on some other stuff potentially. Like we're gonna need to have a solid nickel corner just to have that safety net as well.
And somebody, ideally you want somebody who could go inside out, because let's not be real.
No, yeah, that too.
24. Demo's gonna have to get paid after this year.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Demo's gonna have to get paid after this year. So we definitely got some decisions coming out. One last one, Mike. Oh, I cannot. I'm not gonna even try to slaughter his name. I cannot say this last name, but Mike. He's from Michigan. 5'10", 182 pounds, 81.4 overall grade, 85 overall coverage grade, and a 65 run grade with 6 picks. Not necessarily the greatest run defender, but thrives in special teams. And I don't know, something tells me he started off as receiver, but I almost like that. I almost like a corner. Richard Sherman went to Stanford as a receiver. I believe it was actually Harbaugh that actually switched him to corner.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
So Harbaugh doing the same. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be Richard Sherman, but I'm saying, Harbaugh seeing something in him like, hey, Mike, why don't you go on and switch over to DB for me real quick? And I know he's going to tackle, because one thing I know about Jim Harbaugh is you're not going to start for Jim Harbaugh if you can't tackle. If you're not a physical ball player, you're not playing for Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So say what you want about, say what you want about whether Jim Harbaugh can win the big game, whatever you might say about him as a personality or whatever like that. I think if anything, if you say Jim Harbaugh is not a good football coach, I think you're retarded. Like his style, don't like his style, whatever. But if you're sitting there saying that you don't like, if Jim Harbaugh is not a good football coach, he doesn't know how to evaluate talent, I think you're smoking rocks. That it's been seen everywhere that Jim Harbaugh goes that he wins.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, go. You got any, Jaymie?
So I just pulled up. So I've watched a couple YouTube videos. I didn't get to get as deep as I wanted to into this. But I watched a couple YouTube videos. There's one guy from Toledo. PFF has him on their big board rank as number 10. They're saying his name is from Toledo, Quinion Mitchell, I think is how you pronounce it. It says a little blurb is he has some of the best advanced coverage metrics PFF has ever recorded for a 2-year sample size. He has all the ability in the world to be a cornerback 1 at the next level. I'm going to click on his name to see if I can pull up some of his stats. I believe so. He was ranked, his overall grade was a 91.5 from PFF. He played 13 games, 781 defensive snaps, 437 coverage snaps, 1 interception, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. His best game, I don't know what. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that. He has, in the YouTube video, since the thing with him is he has I think he was one of the faster corners also. He had really good speed. Him and one other guy, like I can't remember if it was him. One ran like a 4.3, and the other one ran like a 4.28. So they're quick, and so I always like that with corners because these receivers are getting like ridiculously fast, especially these younger guys. And so he has the. I think he definitely has the ability to probably play both positions. I don't know. I just kind of like his story. He has a lot of good qualities in him, and then but the knock against him from the YouTube video that I was listening to is since he's only played at Toledo, his competition is not like super impressive with who he played against. So that's always a little bit of risk, and his sample size is small as well. But he has definitely like an underdog kind of story, and he could be. He has like the athleticism that I feel like teams will
sounds like
like.
a third. He sounds like a fourth rounder, and
Yeah,
so
which is
like
that's
if
definitely a potential. Like I don't know where exactly he's going. They PFF has him ranked number 10, which I think is high.
yeah,
But
that is pretty high.
um,
So that
so
sounds like a
like
second rounder, third
I don't
rounder.
know, second or
I mean,
third, but like I don't know too much about him. I didn't get to go too in deep about him. I just like I think one thing that I think I've seen from at least from the Niners is they either they take chances on guys that have high athleticism with
yeah.
them. A lot of like high skill, like high, in that area. So they sometimes take chances on guys like that. I don't know too much about this guy, but I do kind of like that aspect of him. I think with his speed, he can be kind of versatile. You can put him outside on the edge. He has some good. His overall grade is a 91 from PFF. So like I don't like that seems good. So, but it's also his competition. So, like, I haven't gotten to dug into film too much, but I kind of like that aspect of it. I like his speed. But yeah, I mean that's for him. Some of the other guys I liked. I know he's a lot of people are saying Kool-Aid from Alabama.
Yeah.
He's but everybody's saying he's like a
Quarterback one.
so like gonna be the like one of the first
Yeah.
corners off the board, or he was going to be until he didn't get to perform at the combine because he had a fracture, I think, in his foot or something. I can't remember what the name of the fracture was, but he didn't get to do anything. PFF has him on the big board ranked as 34.
That's
Which is
that's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. So this is weird. But the little blurb on it is McKinstry plays one of the most difficult positions in the game with so much poise and production. He might not be an elite athlete, but he's one of the smartest quarterbacks prospects you'll find. He can play in any defensive scheme and is the type of player you draft in the first round.
So I've been very Niners need a guard, Niners need a tackle, Niners need a guard, Niners need a tackle. I
Yeah.
don't really care whatever the hell we do, just as long as we get a tackle and we get a guard, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad. If you tell me, hey, look, we got one of the best corners, Jason and I were talking about it. And
Uh-huh.
We all seen the clips. We've all seen the clips. We've seen the video of Kyle, talking to the refs about the holding and all. We've seen it all. After what's happened in 2019 and 2024, are D lines what they used to be? Because if Nick Bosa is just going to get held the whole fourth quarter or the whole Super Bowl, and just not and essentially be held ineffective for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Just mostly for the most part be held ineffective because he's just going to get held. Is it so wise to invest so much in your D line if ultimately what's going to end up winning Super Bowls is because you could say run defense, but ultimately, and it's hard to believe because a lot of people would say the Chiefs won the Super Bowl by Chris Jones. You know,
Yeah.
they say a lot of people would say Chris Jones essentially defensively won them that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But would you I'm almost willing to say not change our philosophy because I'm sorry, just quarterbacks can't hurt you if they're on their your ass. And
Yeah.
until otherwise proven, we just have to assume that the next time we make the Super Bowl next February, we're gonna face Patrick Mahomes. We just have to assume that until proven otherwise. By like them not be winning the NFC champ or AFC championship. Like, because even this year, it didn't seem like it, and lo and behold. So until they lose in the playoffs or don't make the playoffs, I'm just going to assume we're going to be playing them every year from now on.
Yeah.
So with that being said, is it worth it? Or is it almost worth it saying, hey, let's go get us a shutdown corner that's going to take away A.J. Brown, that's going to take away DK Metcalf, that's going to take away Tyreek, that's going to take away Rice, the receiver from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Versus, we're going to go ahead and rock with, our D-line and watch our okay, BC is here. Hey, BC, my birthday present. Yeah, you ain't fucking with me, bro. You ain't got the whole Batman animated series. You ain't got the whole Batman animated series, my nigga. You ain't fucking with me, BC. Anyway, so yeah, I almost wonder if just going to get a top flight corner. So McKinney Kool-Aid, he's there at 31, or he's there at 27.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost us a third and a fourth.
I wouldn't hate it. I get
it's going to cost us a third, and we're going to swap first, obviously.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it, and like I get the Niners' philosophy with wanting to go defensive line. I get it, but I think at some point you have to start putting your capital in other places too. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, especially with the holding and them not calling holds, despite Nick Bosa getting hold so many freaking times.
Look.
We gotta have another option.
I'm not trying to insult my girl. I love my girl. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But when my girl can point shit out,
yeah,
that's bad, bruh. When my girl could be like, babe, are they supposed to be doing that? And I'm not necessarily in the Super Bowl, just in general.
Yeah.
But like, my girls watched plenty of Niner football with me and everything. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to
having a reliable corner that's can keep up with the big receivers and everything and can play the position well.
Can't hurt, right?
It would be huge because, like you said, like unless the D-line can prove that they can consistently get to Mahomes or to whatever quarterback we're facing and get to them.
Which they have it in the Super and thus far. Well, in 2019 they did. I believe it was like 5 sacks that they had in 2019.
Well, even in the first half of this past Super Bowl, didn't Nick Bosa like almost sack him like 3 times or something, or sack him?
And then we had the Chase Young situation, and
it's
so like funny because we've done almost anything that football convention would tell you: sack the quarterback and get turnovers. The Niners did that. We got a turnover. We sacked we won the turnover battle. The Niners won the turnover battle in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I like if for some reason the Niners end up drafting a D lineman at that first pick, I will understand it. I'll be slightly annoyed because that's what we've been doing for freaking forever. And I would like for us to be able to do something else. but
If
I
a top
get
flight
it.
corner is there.
Like, but if there is another really talented player at a position of need that we have,
Yeah.
like a corner, like a defensive back, there, a guard, whatever, like we should take them because like we won't get those opportunities as much anyway. So like
Besides
like
guard,
I would prefer if we got another good player at a different position, like, and I want to like first I want to see like how our D line is gonna like shape out too, like if the
well,
like I don't know, like I kind of want to wait and see if they do any other moves or anything like that too. But like I feel like they've retooled with the D line with free agency, and so hopefully maybe with some of the later picks, they'll take some flyers on some guys down there for D line that could be more of a like rotational player and stuff because like we got some stars. So like we got
if
Bosa, we
you,
got
I
go
bet
ahead.
you if you ask Kyle and John what they would say their best coaching asset is, besides Kyle Shanahan himself, is Chris Kosaric. So what do
Yeah.
really truthfully, you secretly want to know something? Truthfully,
Hmm.
I think our best coach is Johnny Holland. Honestly. I really do think that Johnny Holland is our best asset besides Chris Kosaric. I think Chris Kosaric is our best asset because of how much we put into the D line. But think about it, he
Hmm.
runs a very specific scheme.
Yeah.
And if the Niners transition to that away from that scheme, Chris Kosaric is all of a sudden not as valuable. I bet you Johnny
True.
Holland could probably coach any linebacker scheme.
True. True.
So we'll end the show on this, and I will say this: yes, By, Dennis Brown, Ricky Jackson, the D line, but the last time the Niners won the Super Bowl, what was the in-season trade we made, Jamie, for Dion?
That's true.
The last time we won the Super Bowl was the year we traded for Dion. Now, I'm not saying that there's a Deion Sanders in this Super Bowl or this draft, but just something to think about before you just chalk up the Niners taking a D lineman. Last time we won a Super Bowl, our biggest move in the offseason was signing Dion. Well, in
Yeah.
season.
We just need to get a guy back there that makes quarterbacks hesitate for a split second to give the D line just like because that's what this whole scheme is they're all supposed to work together. And
And
so if the
if you
quarterback hesitates for a split second, that gives the defensive line a split second more time to get to him. It all builds on each other. So like, yeah, we'll have to see what they decide to do.
yes, we will.
And stuff, but yeah. All
All
that's
right,
my
love.
thoughts.
We'll try to get you on Tuesdays and Fridays. Go ahead and tell the people where they can follow you on social media.
All right. So if you guys want to follow me, I am on Twitter or X at 49ers fan 94. That's my Niners Twitter. If you guys want to hit me up over there.
And we also are announcing Jaymie is our new assistant social media manager, specifically focusing on TikTok and Twitter. So
Yes.
we're gonna transition to that here pretty quickly. All right, love. We'll go ahead and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, thanks, Jaymie, for coming in. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the show. We shall see y'all Tuesday. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.